Who's our next guest? Let's see.
Rituraj. Sorry, I got lost and you got lost.
Yeah, together.
Yes, I'm trying to find my information here. I'm sorry about this. Rituraj Phukan is Chief Operating Officer at Walk for Water. Welcome. And you know, Rituraj, the stage is yours, so please go ahead.
Namaste. I have a short presentation about the severity of India's water crisis.
You're sharing your screen. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope you can see that.
Yes, we can.
So on the blue planet, we have a water crisis, and water has emerged as a local issue of global climate change. More than 500 million people are affected in India alone. And India is among the countries actually fast depleting the underground water sources. The situation really is going from bad to worse. Some of these figures are really astonishing. Water tables are falling 20 feet per year in Gujarat, and 95% of wells have dried up in the state of Tamil Nadu. This year, during the Color Festival of Holi, the local authorities restricted the use of water in Gujarat. Wetlands have shrunk, disappeared, and rivers have run dry. Just last week, a new satellite early warning system talked about shrinking reservoirs. More than half of our population is now water stressed. So farmers are feeling the brunt of the water crisis, and it has manifested in thousands of them committing suicide, which is really, really sad. And it is not just water scarcity. Changes in precipitation patterns has devastated agriculture all over the country. For the North Indian states dependent on the Himalayan rivers, in the short term, we face the threat of floods, and in the long term, seasonal water scarcity. These are the ancient water towers. So about 40% of the global human population depend on this. So the threat is very real for people. We are having floods in the most unlikeliest of places. Now, this is an iconic image that many people in India would remember from June 2013. 847% extra rainfall. We are not equipped to deal with such climate emergencies. This is my home, Assam, where we have a water problem of a different kind. We have floods which have increased in intensity and frequency in the last few years. The main city, Guwahati, has flooded streets, but at the same time, there is a scarcity of drinking water. Heat waves have increased, leading to further stress, demand for more water. Bangalore, like Cape Town and Delhi, are also facing day zero, according to some reports. Now, man-animal conflict has increased because everybody needs to go water. Food and water crisis has actually forced animals to move out of protected areas and made them more vulnerable to poaching as well as roadkills. But I have great hope, and one of the reasons is my friend here, the forest man of India, Mr. Jadhav Payang, says that reforestation is the key, and the Indian government has taken up forestation on a mass scale in record numbers. I think we have already exceeded the commitments made under the Paris Agreement. At Walk for Water, we set up these community water centers at some of the most drought-prone areas, using all available water and supplying them to the water-stressed people at very affordable rates. I find these water ATMs could actually help solve the problem of plastic bottles that are littering and clogging up all our water bodies and rivers. The greatest hope that I have is, of course, rainwater harvesting, because the potential in India is massive, and we have hardly utilized a small fraction of the potential that we actually have. India is also a huge water wasting country, and at Walk for Water, we have made it our mission to increase water awareness. We have this water pledge that has gone all over the country to millions. Celebrities have endorsed it. And with the help of climate reality leaders, it has been administered in over 100 countries and on all the 7 continents. We work with students and around campuses, we always ask them the question if they would make informed choices, if they would act on climate change, and the answer is always a resounding yes. It is our problem. Everybody recognizes that, and the greatest threat to the planet is the belief that someone else will solve it. That's Robert Swan. I believe in that because we really don't have time. Thank you very much, and namaste.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What is the message that you send to the world leaders or the local leaders that you have around you when you see these changes and the way you adapt and what information you can give them?
Well, the people have spoken. We have seen the evidence. Now really it is the time to take decisive action. We cannot wait for the future generations to start blaming, the past or blaming the current generation for not taking action. We really need to act. That's the message.
Some scientists are indicating we should make plans to adapt to a 4-degree hotter world.
Business as usual means about 4 degrees warmer, which is approximately 1 ice age in the opposite direction.
Based on today's temperatures, we are going to hit 2 meters of sea level rise, no matter what.
We are in a race against time.
It takes a double whammy to understand.
It takes repeated shocks.
We need a global movement that demands real change.
We don't have time to speculate.
We don't have time is absolutely correct.
As we know, we don't have time.
There's no more time.
Yes, we don't have time.
We use the hashtag
We don't have time.
We don't have much time.
We don't have time to wait.